Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Sun Up on 7. I hope that you take note of that weather update, and I hope that you're enjoying the northerly winds as well. It's quite a treat. It's Monday, and it's time for the Monday morning beef. Jules, good morning.
Hey,
It's Monday. It's October 3rd, a new month. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling I'm feeling good. First I have to congratulate you on the solo
On my
dance.
solo dance,
That's the first time.
that's the
Hey,
first time. I think there's always a first time for things. So I think
you made it.
yes,
All
yes.
right.
It's so good to be back after a week of leave. Giving myself the time to recover. It's the
Yeah.
energy's back, the vibe as well. So
I
I'm
appreciate it.
excited for this conversation.
It's good to have you back.
Thanks, Jules. So should we get started with our beef?
Yes, indeed. So it's a lot of politics this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Because the UDP, uh, with pride, announced that in spite of all the troubles it has,
that is true.
it still has 60 people who want to
Who would
run
have
for it.
thought?
Right. So, there's a thing I call the credibility threshold. And earlier in the week, the detractors of Shyne, the leader of the UDP, were saying that he would not reach 31, which is the credibility threshold. You want to be a mass party, you have to be able to get 31 people to voluntarily, without you to go beg them, to run in 31 constituencies. That's the credibility threshold. And the UDP, from my count, they got about 60 people, and that is for 26 of the seats
Right.
for 27, because in the ones where you have elected representatives, no one will run except in the College constituency,
Okay.
because there's that Patrick Faber situation. But
Yes.
we'll reach there. But first, we have to talk about the biggest news, which is that now the opponents of Shyne Barrow, who are legion in the UDP, there are many who oppose them. They are trying to organize a recall
At this time.
of Shyne. So if we could see the email that's been the WhatsApp petition that's being circulated, but there is um, an effort to recall Shyne. Now, remember, there was a big move to recall Patrick Faber, and it failed. It failed because the threshold is so high to meet, and here we see all the failures that they say he has. If we can bring it back to the top, it's just being circulated. I haven't seen a signed copy. It says the Honorable Moses Shyne Barrow has failed to lead our political party's activity to rebuild the party and instill confidence, has failed to consult with party officers, the central executive, and members of the party. We could move it up a little more, guys. Has failed to unite and consult with the party's active elected parliamentarians, does not enjoy the support of Belizean people at large, with, as is evident, every bit of feedback and more traditional on social media and traditional forms of the media.
Wow.
So it goes on. Now I want to say that this is not, as far as I know, it has not been formally sent to the chairman.
Okay.
As far as I know.
All right.
Right? But you have to get a certain minimum number of signatures, and then you can trigger a recall process. It is not at that stage yet. But they are talking about it. They are actively pursuing a recall. The UDP is a sad psychiatric circus gone psychotic. Yo, on a done fail, it's very hard to recall somebody. You have to get 2/3 plus one. That is very difficult. That is it. Any leader worth his or her salt is good for at least a third.
Yeah.
I want to stress something else here. That when they did the recall against Patrick Faber, they had the Carcass for Change leading the charge. That represents 21 constituencies.
Okay.
And that still failed. I'm saying they triggered it, but they still failed to get rid of him. Patrick Faber didn't get 50% of the vote, but he got enough to stay alive.
Indeed.
I'm saying that you have to have a very organized effort. Now, anything is possible in politics, but when a party is embarking on its second recall in a year, there is a cancer. You all have cancer.
Yeah.
The UDP has a cancer.
Yeah.
It's just totally disunified, if that's a word. Not unified, but I'm saying that I don't know if the recall will be successfully triggered, but I know there are serious opponents of Shyne who are committed to doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if it goes ahead. There's a technicality because new delegates are supposed to be elected for the new conventions that are supposed to take place. And so I'm not sure if they're able to do it right now with all the delegates in transition. But that is a technicality.
Okay.
The fact is that all the backbiting and infighting is now taking a focused form, and they are trying to get a tip of despair to drive, metaphorically, into Shyne's heart and to take him out. So it will be interesting to see if that happens, but it's like how psychiatric and psychotic can the circus get? Like, y'all got no chill. I remember I said it. Some of us like to make love, then like make war. They wake up every day and they quarrel.
Right.
And like, make we quarrel today, make we war.
Let's find something. Let's
Yo,
find the
it's
reason.
so
Yeah.
toxic. It's so toxic. Anyway,
Yeah, but it's interesting that given, like this dispute going on with the leadership of Shyne Barrow, people still came up front, as they voluntarily to run for the different seats within the United Democratic Party. I saw the list of the 27 persons, 27 candidates, and there were some that made me like turn my head, for instance.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that now, right?
I think we have the list,
We
guy.
have the list, yeah, like
Yeah.
former Mayor Zenaida Moya is running there,
Yes. Zenaida Moya, Mark King. It's
Khalid Belail is running in Belmopan
Right.
against Jean Saldivar when he said he was not going to run.
Right.
So it's very interesting to see these folks.
and this there are two copies of this list. I saw an official leak, and this is an unofficial leak. I don't know. I see a few more names on this one, but what we're going to do, this is the earliest in human history that an election will be predicted.
right.
So I'm going to predict the election
do this,
today.
Jules. Let's do this.
We're going to go down this list. So guys in the control room, if we could trim the list today, 2 columns or the 3 columns on the left, the constituency, the first name and the last name, so that it's more visible. So let's start out in Corozal North. In Corozal North, the only UDP candidate is Hugo Pat. He will not face a convention or any type of election challenge. So Hugo Pat in Corozal North. And he will be, obviously, he's the odds-on favorite to win. So you can mark that down for the UDP. You got a pen, Kevin?
I do.
Let's mark it. So there are 1 for the UDP. PUP don't have a candidate at this time. I can't imagine they will make Mr. Castillo run again, but we shall see. But let's call that 1 for the UDP.
Got it.
Okay, so in Corozal Bay, we'll have the UDP has 4 prospective candidates, right? Kennard Leopold Smart, Ivan Puerto, Dr. Omar Vasquez, Gilberto Campos.
Gilberto Campos.
So I don't know all these persons. I certainly do know Ivan Puerto, and I certainly know former 4-time Mayor Gilberto Campos.
Yeah.
The UDP have a fighting chance in Corozal Bay. The PUP is super split up in Corozal Bay. We spoke about the dispute with the sitting representative, Elvia Vega,
Right.
and Thea Garcia, who wishes to challenge her. They're serious in fighting in that camp. And the UDP has held this seat many times. It's a flip-flop seat.
Okay.
And the UDP held it 3 times recently with Mr. Pablo Marin. So I would say the UDP have a fighting chance in there, and I believe these are credible candidates. So yeah, I would say let's mark that down for them. Corozal Southeast. Now we'll have to introduce the categories of candidates. These candidates are DOA because they're newcomers. There will be 2 types, DED and DOA. DD mean they're dead. They've already run and they're still dead.
Wow.
So these are DOA. The UDP have never won the seat and they will never, or not in the foreseeable, as long as there's
Lawrence
a Marin
Marin,
running
yes,
there.
I agree.
Right? Because the Marin family has held on that seat since
That is true.
the mid-60s.
Yes.
So the 2 UDP candidates, Galinda Blanco and Tony Herrera, who is the most recent standard bearer who ran in the last election. He's a senator in the House of in the Senate, in the Parliament. But I'm saying it now. DED. He's DED because he don't run and lose. So he's DED, and Dalinda Blanco is DOA. A new candidate, dead on arrival.
Didn't make it.
DOA. So we go to Corozal Southwest. No, I'm not familiar with these guys.
Yeah, they seem pretty
But
new.
yes, but the PUP Ramiro Ramirez has that seat right now. I can't imagine that Ramiro Ramirez is unbeatable, and that's a seat that has a flip-flop history. So I don't know these guys, so I don't want to make a call for it. But let us be charitable and say that the UDP have a fighting chance in there. So
Okay.
Corozal Southwest, because I don't think Ramiro Ramirez is especially strong, and he's not a full-fledged minister, which limits the deliverables.
Right.
And he's a first-term representative. So we go to Orange Walk North. Jaime Castillo, DOA. Carlos
Didn't make it.
Cetina, DOA. Homero Novello said he would run last time, pulled out at the last minute because they say he had beef with Gape Vega in Orange Walk North. DED, because he had tried to run last time and failed. DED. So PUP will hold on in Orange Walk North. That is my prediction.
Okay.
Orange Walk Central, Danny Grijalva,
Danny
a man who is undeterred by defeat.
Yes.
God bless his soul, and he's
God
a
bless his soul
pastor.
indeed.
DED, dead.
Yeah.
Good. Orange Walk East, Eladio Aragon, ran before, and he has represented that constituency 2 terms, I believe.
Yeah.
But DED, they have too much to overcome. They are too far behind Kevin Bernard. May not be the most popular minister, but he's a minister of health. He has many goods and services to deliver. He's a great and effective on-the-ground politician. Eladio Aragon, the news is you still woke up dead. You still woke up as a UDP corpse. So Orange Walk East, DED.
Didn't make it.
Orange Walk South, the incumbent standard bearer is Guadalupe Dick, Magana Dick. And we have 3 newcomers. They are DOA, dead on arrival, and she is DED.
Did not make it either.
PUP will hold on in Orange Walk South. Now, obviously, guys, we are predicting this like anything can happen in the next 3 years, assuming we have 3 years to go before the election, because PUP could call an early election after redistricting. That's always to their advantage. But we're just having fun with these names. So no, take it personal. Belize Rural North, interesting. Edmond Castro and Andrew Chacon. So Edmond Castro, 3-time representative, and the PUP Marcone Leal is a 1-time. You know, Edmond lost by a significant margin. He only got 40% of the vote in the last election.
Okay.
Huge demise. He has a lot to come back from. But he's a seasoned politician. He's a veteran of that area. He knows how to win elections. He knows how to win conventions. I will give him a nod in Belize Rural North. So mark that one down. Good. Belize Rural Central, Bev Williams, DED. Why is Bev Williams DED?
Why is that, Jules?
Because she lost by more than a third. She lost by like 1,300 votes to
wow.
Dolores
That's a big margin.
Valderramos Garcia in the last election. 1,300 votes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of votes.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot of votes. DED. I know, I'm saying real up with me, but DED, Belize Rural South, I'll be honest, I do not know the newcomer, Ure Azueta, but I'll have to call that one DOA because, again, it's a powerful minister who's there, the Minister of the Blue Economy. Active man, we see him on the media very often, lives in his constituency when he's not traveling. But Andre Perez will, I believe, hold on in that constituency. So she's
so too.
DOA.
Yeah.
Freetown, Urs Nelrington, out again, in again, back in again. He told me last week, 1 day before the deadline,
He was not.
2 days before the deadline, I'm out. But by the time the deadline came, he was back in.
He meditated on that.
He meditated. So Urs Nelrington and Zenaida Moya, this is like the World Series of politics. This convention should be a pay-per-view event. Zenaida Moya, than nothing to play with. That lady, that woman has politics in her blood. She breeds it.
Wow.
She's intoxicated by politics. She's been kept out of politics for a long time. She and Dean Barrow went crossway in the most significant way, but Zenaida Moya, and she can work the street as a campaigner. It is hard to resist Zenaida Moya. And O.J. Elrington is an energetic campaigner as well. However, I'm pronouncing it now. They are both D-E-D, dead.
They did not make it.
D-E-D. No chance.
No chance.
They will not unseat Francis Fonseca. He's on cruise control in Freetown. DED. In Caribbean Shores.
Caribbean Shores.
Two newcomers. I know Mr. Bradley, Andrew Bradley. He's from the Lemar camp. And Alobi Young, I know he's the grandson of the former Governor General Sir Colville.
Okay.
And he's the son of Colville Jr. And I know he studied music. From what I know, he sounds like an excellent candidate. But running against the Musa political machine, DOA, dead on arrival.
Yes.
They are both DOA, dead on arrival.
All right.
The Musa political machine is formidable. Certainly, Karim Musa does not enjoy the support that he enjoyed. Every day you're in power, this is the natural atrophy process for all. This is the natural atrophy process for all persons in politics. Every day you're in power, you lose support. That's real.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. And while Karim Musa does not enjoy the support he did in 2020, newcomers cannot overcome the Musa political machine.
Yes.
It's a machine that Said Musa first turned on in 1974, and it ain't shut down yet. It's only been refining its purr. PICKSTOCK, this is beautiful. Mark King is back or wants to be back in politics.
Yeah.
He tried to come back so many times and was rejected so many times. Mark King, don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years. He's keeping us in tears. Mark King is back in politics, and Dean Samuels. Mark King, DED. Dean Samuels, DED. Why are they both DED?
Why?
Because Anthony Mala won that constituency by almost 2,000 votes in the
That's a
last
big
election.
margin. Yeah. Right.
And he is a powerful, well-resourced minister. Of course, the division is very poor. You lose support every day. That's real. It's hard to meet people's needs. Their needs are great.
Yes.
But my point is that Mark King and Dean Samuels, they are both former city councillors. Mark King and Dean Samuels, DED.
Yeah.
But it's going to be so entertaining if the UDP allows Mark King to run. Man,
So let's see how that goes.
that guy is super entertaining.
So we have, sorry to interrupt
We're
you.
joined by Renata.
We're joined by Renata.
Beamed in. Can we
join
get
us
a
on-
visual here?
Yes.
You don't have to watch two ugly men anymore. One ugly man, one handsome gentleman.
Thank you, Jules.
Let's see the wide shot, guys.
Good morning, Ren. Thank you so much for joining the beef. It's good to have you here.
It is really good to be back, man, because I feel like I'm not make it. I really feel like I'm not
You
make
did.
it.
You did. You're here. And
But I was watching and I hear all of the show and
so,
everything
Jules, we're
right
doing
now.
the
We're doing the earliest election prediction in the history of elections. Not even in America, they predict elections.
So we're there right now,
The
because
best
remember we have
post.
time to
We're in
ourselves.
PICKSTOCK. You missed Zenaida Moya and OJ in Freetown.
Yes.
So in Albert, Tracy Panton, I believe the PUP is DED in there. PUP is DED in there. I don't know if Paul Thompson will run again. He would be a fool if he did, but that's who are in politics.
Right.
Fools, so he might. But I have to give Tracy the edge in there. She held on against formidable odds in 2020.
Yeah.
She had nothing to play with. So obviously, I will give that to UDP. Queen Square, super interesting. For the first time since 1984, there will not be a Barrow running in Queen
I know,
Square.
that was very shocking.
Unprecedented. Sister B has indicated she's not going to run again. I'm not sure she ran the last time because not sure of the house
Yeah.
more than twice. But I'm saying that it's super interesting, a changing of the guard in Queen Square. For the first time in almost 40 years, there will not be a Barrow running
I mean,
in
wondering
that
if it's because of
constituency.
the last elections and how she actually, won by just a least, amount too as well. And I know she had said that she's going back into the community to make sure she touched ground, talk to the people, etc., etc. Maybe the talk to the people never gone so
Yeah.
well. I'm not sure, but
No, I don't think she's. You have a saying in English. I don't think you're along for this. That it's not something that I think that she enjoyed doing it, or it was her life's work.
Yeah.
Doing it in service of her brother, who eventually became prime minister. But I don't ever think that she wanted to do it for the long term. I think she wanted to hand it over to Godwin Haylock. Godwin Haylock is her long-time understudy. And I think that she wanted to hand it over to him, but he was probably not ready at that time.
probably.
And so she's trying to hand it over to Godwin Haylock now. And Shane Williams wants a challenge. He's a long-time resident of the area. He's a
Within
child of the
UDP
UDP.
secretariat.
Yeah, he's a child of the UDP, and he works at the UDP secretariat. He has it in his blood. But PUP, it's hard to call that constituency because you cannot ever call Queen Square for the PUP. UDP have held it since 1984.
Yeah.
But
But
the person running will not be named Barrow. So that's consequential.
Yeah.
So, and PUP has Alan Pollard.
and Alan gave them a run for their money last time.
right,
In
yeah.
a short period of time, Alan came in.
Right.
I think it was a couple of months he was actually vying.
Yeah, but he still only get 41% of the vote, 41.9.
that
Don't
feels
get high. Don't get, no, I'm not
Or
saying.
if you call it a stronghold, Jules, make it make sense because you can't
No,
come in for
no.
a couple months and
No,
call it not working purely stronghold.
UDP, he had it for more than that. But he's formidable. He's a golden boy of the PUP on the south side. I mean, as long as you accept that Cordelite is a golden man. Alan Pollard, this seat is now in play.
Yeah.
This seat has not been in play for 4 decades.
Yeah.
This seat is in play, right? And that is a consequential, that will be one to watch. But based on history, that UDP haven't lost it since '84. I still have to stroke that one
Mark
for
that one?
UDP.
Okay.
But I think it's very much, I think that one is very much in play.
And you do think between
Shane and Godwin.
Oh,
Godwin,
Shane and Godwin.
who's gonna win?
So
Between them?
who's gonna win? I have to think. Shane, I'm a Lee boy, but I have to think that Godwin Haylock, being the understudy, the eyeball of Sister B,
Okay.
that he will hold on and win in Queen Square. That's my feeling. But I'm just a fool. I really am. Okay, Lake Independence, Cecil Jenkins. He ran before. I think he lost the convention before. So this is he's running again in the convention. DOA, Jason Edwards. He ran in a convention before as well. DOA or DED, whichever one, because he was a former city councillor.
Okay.
They cannot beat
not make it.
Cordell Hyde. He got more than 90% of the vote, unmatched in the history of Belizean politics, or in the modern history of Belizean politics. DED and DOA. Dead. We don't even have to argue that one. Call it constituency. There are 2 names on the list. Patrick Farber and Ian Jones.
But one,
One will not run because let me explain
So
to you.
let's put names
Let
on
me
it.
explain to you what's happening in Patrick Farber. During last week, they're coming up to the deadline for the finalization of the candidates. A big person from the UDP goes and makes serious overtures to him. Man, just take down the post name. I could just take that down and try doing a mini reset. You don't have to love Shyne, but just take down the post name.
no.
No! Y'all be some S-heads.
Yes.
So that was a big fat no. And so his candidacy is being rejected. His candidacy is being rejected, and Ian Jones could face an endorsement convention. Who is Ian Jones? Ian Jones is a long-time understudy of Patrick Farber. He was one of the worshippers of Patrick Farber, one of the persons who fed off Patrick Farber. He worked in the Ministry of Sports. He has a master's degree in sports management. I believe he's formidable. That's a really interesting constituency because it used to be a super flip-flop constituency, and Patrick Farber, the political master that he is, made it into a UDP stronghold. That's a constituency that once won by only one vote. Faith Bob once won it by only one vote. I am saying that it's hard to predict the Cullet constituency because you can't say the UDP is going to lose in Cullet. It's a stronghold. But if Patrick Farber runs independent,
Yeah. He's gonna have the vote
they'll
split. That would be
split
a
the votes, and
That would be a
PUP don't even have a candidate there. I had heard that Micah want run, but he running in Barbados. You hear me? He will run against Mia Motley. Him run against Mia Motley.
Yeah.
But
we
my
have to go a
point
little
is,
faster now.
we have to
Time
go a
to
little
run up.
faster.
Let's
Good.
go.
So let's talk about. So let's make a decision there
At Cullet.
on Cullet. It's a UDP stronghold.
So let's
PUP
go.
don't have a candidate. I still have to say that UDP will hold on to it, but that is again a big question mark, just like Queen Square. Port Loretta, Philip Willoughby, DE. It's let me not predict that yet. AC Castillo, DOA. AC, he ran in the convention last time, won. His heart is in the right place, but it's like me and basketball. You love the game, but the game not love you. But Philip Willoughby, if he were to win a convention against Gilroy Elcher, it's hard to say, again, a poor constituency. I would still have to say that Philip Willoughby, though, is DED. I'm still predicting Philip Willoughby, DED, PUP holds on there. Mesopotamia, Shyne, Barrow, no challenge, move on.
Okay.
Fort George, Melvin Hewlett, DED. PUP will not lose that convention as long as there is a scion of the Musa political fortune holding on, and there still is one there.
Okay, so
In
Cayo Central.
In Cayo Central. Very interesting. 4 UDP candidates, including the Infinity Mayor. He's got about 5 terms on him. Earl Trapp is interested in running now. He and John August, who are both running here, they went to a convention in Cayo Northeast last time, and John August won. They've both now come to Cayo Central. I believe UDP can win Cayo Central. It's the first time PUP represented. He does not have a ministry. He's just a backbencher. So I do think the UDP can hold on or can regain the Cayo Central. Who's going to win the convention? Obviously, I would have to give Earl Trapp the nod, but John August has beaten before. So I think then guys have a lead chance in there. Omar Figueroa in Cayo North. No one else will challenge. Omar lost by almost 1,000 votes to Michelle Shebat last time. Hard to overcome Shebat. Once he got out of the Ministry of Health, where lightning was striking him on a daily basis. There was political lightning striking a head top. But now that he's out of that, he's operating under the radar. He still has a powerful, well-resourced ministry. I believe he can still deliver a lot. He's a raw politician. He's formidable. He's hard to beat. I still have to say PUP will hold that one. Moving to Cayo West, Miguel Guerra, DED, DOA, Carlos Cortez, DOA, PUP hold on. Mr. Jorge Espat, the current PUP rep, still not have to vote for itself. And he might go win.
Yeah.
Cayo South now.
Cayo
With
South.
Lone Melcher votes. So in Cayo South, Dr. June Young. And she's not a doctor like her party leader, Dean Barrow. Shyne Barrow.
Barrow, yeah.
He's not who is an honor, she's a real doctor.
The real doctor.
Dr. June Young. May I pronounce it? DOA. UDP will not win that constituency as long as Julius Espat is there. That's a DOA, but great, take one for the team. Belmopan, the most interesting.
Yes,
John Saldivar.
indeed. Khalid Bela.
Versus Khalid
Khalid Bilal.
Versus-
Emil Torres.
Senior.
George Lovell, he is such an exciting candidate. Emil Torres, he's the fastest talker in the West. He's a car salesman,
Okay.
right?
That's
So
crazy.
this is such an interesting convention. But may I pronounce that John Saldivar, not DD? He's king of the zombies. He's king of the Walking Dead. He represents, you have factions. You have the Shyne faction, Faber faction. He's the carcass faction. Yo, I got the carcass on the lock. Anyway, John Saldivar, king of the dead. Obviously, when one looks at this rationally, Khalid Bilal, the former mayor, should represent the UDP there. But John Saldivar is very difficult to beat in a convention.
Very true.
He's been working that division for 3 decades.
Yeah.
He's very hard to beat. He's tough. He's tough, and he has the support of the leader, Shyne Barrow. They are bound at the hip, for better or for worse. Usually it's for worse. Once you're bound to John Saldivar. So, but are the UDP able to win in that constituency if John Saldivar is their candidate? No. But it's very interesting to see former CEO George Loveland there. If one of these other guys win, it'll be really interesting to see
be a
because
tight competition.
Mira is a first-term representative. I believe UDP may be able to regain that seat. But at this time, John Saldiva has to be considered favorite in the convention. That means UDP in Belmopan, DED.
Did
Okay,
not make
Kaya
it.
Northeast, let's go.
Cayon Ortiz. Albert Fernandez, son of Salva. Alfonso Cruz. I believe Alfonso is a former councillor, former mayor. It'll be tough to beat Lande, the current minister. So I will call that one for the PUP.
Okay.
Got it.
So those two are DOA and DED, because one is a former
Stan
candidate.
Creek
And then
West.
West.
DOA
Aldon Crusher.
and Ivan Williams is DED.
Get this man some more.
Ivan ran last time, lost by a magnificent amount. That constituency will probably be cut in redistricting.
water.
DOA. So that's 2 DOAs and 1 DED. No question. Dead.
Question. We went to that.
Damriga, really interesting. Richard Webster, Francis Marin, Art Lopez, well-known name in the UDP,
And
Norman Usher Jr. That's going to be a really interesting constituency. I think the UDP can regain that. So I'll call that one for the UDP. Mark that down.
Toledo East.
Toledo East. Can somebody beat Mike Espat? No. The side Musa made to try to get rid of a man from the PUP. Mike Espat is a tough cookie.
Yeah.
But I really think Ashton McKenzie, you have Dennis Williams and Ashton McKenzie. It's hard to call those guys. I think Ashton is a good candidate. I guess I just have a personal, I know him personally, but nobody has been able to prove to me that they can beat Mike Espat. So regrettably, one of them, DOA, the other one, DED.
That's a no for Toledo.
And last
East.
time.
Toledo West, DEDDOA, Macario Coy. DED, he ran last time, lost by over 1,000 votes. DED, Alfonso Sanchez Jr., DOA, dead on arrival. None of them beat the current PUP representative, Mr. Rekenya. So how much you have for
So the
UDP
prediction
there?
goes is 10 seats for the UDP.
10 for the UDP, predicting it today. Hey,
10.
guys, this is totally unscientific. I'm just making this up as I go
I would
along.
love
But
people
also
to
for
write
your
this
political
down and this
history
will actually
involved,
happen,
so-
you know.
It's like
I
the-
would laugh.
No,
the
I'm
purposes of
terrible at
Nostradamus
predictions.
here.
I'm just having fun. I don't even know.
You're not
I,
political scientist.
I'm not. I'm a bull sitter. I'm just here for the beer.
So we need to sit on number 3 for our coach talk.
Right. No, it's just quick. I'm John Briceno. Where are you? Phone home. We miss you. We don't know where he is. I checked his last Facebook post, September 28th. Where in the world
Where
is John
are you?
Briceno?
Yes.
Last heard of in Washington, D.C. at the OS. I'm checking. I've called police in at D.C. Uno get a missing person report for this man. I want to see my PM. Yo, where you at? You work
Where
for we.
are you, Prime Minister?
You work for we.
You have to WhatsApp
We
him?
miss you. We miss
Where is the PM? He went without telling us where he's going. Okay, Ghana, UN. After the Ghana away, it's great. We saw the videos. Where's your itinerary? Or is it due to leave? Off
you.
duty
You know who
leave?
you have to ask? Compol Chester. I mean, they're best friends.
They're
with that
best friends.
photo
Yeah,
on
or
their
WhatsApp picture.
Yeah.
So if anybody can
Yeah.
know,
I will ask. I will see if he's got a missing
just check
person
your last
report.
scene on WhatsApp. That
Last
is
seen
it
from
active?
WhatsApp. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the way I want to know. John, but send your phone home. Where you at? Where you at?
Where you at?
And lastly,
Quickly, Eladio Pop. Eladio Pop is a legendary cacao grower. Legendary. He was arrested this weekend for marijuana cultivation. Now, I have a soft spot in my heart for Eladio Pop because many years ago in 2009, we went to his cacao farm and he rolled up lovingly Maya hemp in a cacao leaf and smoked it on camera for us. This is a special man. He is legendary. He's been on so many. We have the footage of Eladio, guys. He's been on so many BTB documentaries. He has been outstanding. But they sent a release this weekend, and they did not name him in the release, and I just want to read it quickly, right? If I could just read this release quickly, and I think we have the text of it. The release says that the nonprofit Columbia River Cooperative, which is to formally protest the brutalities which took place this week in San Pedro, Colombia, Toledo, our village, a center of traditional Mayan marijuana cultivation, was given hope during the current economic crisis by Honorable Musa's legalization bill, which passed in both houses, and therefore, if the democratic process were functioning properly, check with the churches, God is bigger than democracy, have already become law. It is hoped that indigenous and traditional small independent farmers would finally be able to participate legally in marijuana trade, etc., etc. This week, nearly all these farmers have been brutally harassed by the police, and currently a traditional, well-respected couple in their 60s, well-known chocolate farmers who are active in church and cultural events are in jail in Punta Gorda.
Wow.
Free Eladio Pop.
Free.
Eladio Pop he's a poster boy for the Belize Tourism Board, for the entire cacao industry. This man has the spirit and heart of a champion. Yo, the man, the grow Maya hemp. Man, what are we doing, right? What are we doing? Free Eladio Pop. I understand what the laws are, but really, man, the Eladio Pop we're going after, a pillar of the community, a pillar of the cacao sector. I've spoken too much. Free Eladio Pop. I'm done on a note.
Good. So
So,
with that, we end the
We
couch
end
talk.
off.
Jules,
Yep.
those predictions were pretty good. Maybe 10 were playing Bolido tonight.
Maybe 10 I'm playing Bolido.
Yes, let's
Completely
not back up.
unscientific, and forgive me for all those persons I offended who are not actually DOA.
No,
But
but it gives them the opportunity to amp up their game. So I hope they were paying
yes,
attention and
take it as a challenge.
Take
Don't
it as
take
a
it
challenge
personally.
People
indeed.
prove
Yes.
wrong too as well,
Yes.
you know.
Yes,
That's-
I love
that's
being
a-
proven wrong.
Supposed to give that fire under their butt fist. So you
Fire.
Jules
You know what?
This, but watch ya.
Watch ya.
Go play basketball.
We have
Jules.
time.
Exactly.
3 years.
Oh,
Poorly.
Right. So, guys, with that, we go to our first commercial break for today. When we're back, we're going to be talking to the Crocodile Research Coalition about some exciting stuff about conservation through education and culture. Stay tuned for that and see how you can get involved. We'll be right back.
A place to call your